Hello out there, YouTube friends. I am Cindy, and this is Sincerely Cindy Settle. I finally have a book review. So we're going to talk about Every Day by David Levithan today. So please stick around, check out my book review. I will also have recommendations for music and TV shows. So I will see you in this. So I started reading every day because my daughter was reading a book for school. She's a senior in high school. She came to me and she was like, "Oh, Cindy, look what I got." She showed me the book and I was like, "Girl, I have that downstairs on the bookshelf." She's like, "I have to read it for school." I was like, "Yay, I'll read it with you." So I had it on the bookshelf. I had gotten it from Reading Brings Us Together, who one of the members there sent it to me in one of our activities that we had a while back. If you're interested in Reading Brings Us Together, we are on Facebook as well as Instagram. It is a book group. We do discussion days. We have book exchanges. We have gifting trains on Amazon, all kinds of good stuff. So anyway, I digress. So she was so excited. She was excited that she was reading. My girls are not readers. It is what it is. So I was excited that she was reading. So I decided I was going to read this with her. So my interpretation of reading with her versus reading her interpretation of reading with me is a little bit different. So anyway, so let me talk about the book a little bit. So like I said, I've had this on the shelf for a little while. I really had no intention of right away reading it, but she did prompt me to go ahead and grab it. So this is more of a young adult book. I did end up giving it 3 stars. It's great for ages 12 and up. So if you have a son or daughter who is within that age range, this is perfect. It is somewhat of a romance. There's not any sex or anything like that in it. There's just some hand holding and some kissing. So it is completely appropriate. But let me just say, the storyline is unique, very unique. So the story is told from A's point of view. So A wakes up every day in a different body. So the body could be male, it could be female, they could be fat, they could be skinny, they could be tall, they could be short, they could be a jock, they could be a druggie. So a lot of different bodies that A can be in. So it's told from A's point of view. Well, at the beginning of the story, we meet A, and A is in Justin's body. So Justin has this girlfriend, Rhiannon, who A really likes. They hit it off. And even though A is in Justin's body, he still acts like himself when he's in anybody's body. So he still has his own genuine personality that sometimes is a struggle when he's in other bodies because those other personalities are not necessarily like his. So sometimes he struggles to maintain his own personality while also making it appear as though he's actually the other person, because no one is supposed to know that he's in this other body. So anyway, so he falls for Rhiannon. They start to develop a friendship. She is the only person with whom he has ever revealed that he changes bodies every day. He wakes up that way every morning until there becomes a little bit of a conflict when he wakes up as a boy by the name of Nathan. Well, he goes to a party because he knows Rhiannon is going to be there, and he meets her as Nathan. This is prior to him revealing that he wakes up in other bodies. And he is heading home as Nathan, and he knows at midnight that he has to be home, and he pulls over to the side of the road because he's going to be changing bodies. And Nathan wakes up on the side of the road, does not remember being at this party, doesn't know why he's on the side of the road. So he comes to feel like he has been, not abducted, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Overtaken by the devil or something like that. So that becomes a conflict. They end up sending some emails. There's news footage and things of that nature. So it's an interesting concept, and you see Rhiannon and A's relationship grow throughout the story, as well as the conflict between Nathan and A grow as the story goes on. So It's an interesting concept. There are several things that I liked. We'll get right into those 3 things that I liked and 3 things that I didn't like. But that's the general premise of the story. There are 2 other books that follow this one. I will not be reading the other 2 books. I just didn't love it that much, and I didn't have that need to find out what happens next. You can read this as a standalone. There are a couple of questions that are left out there, if you're wondering, that will be answered, I'm assuming, in the next book. But for me, I was just kind of like, I'm good where it's at. So with all that being said, like I said, it is a very unique storyline. So that is my first like. So it kind of touches on the ability of someone, Rhiannon, to accept her friend and accept someone regardless of what they look like, what their appearance is. So she's very accepting. She cares for him regardless of appearance, male, female, fat, skinny, short, tall, whatever. But there are, it also touches on the unique aspects of A's life in that, he doesn't really have anybody in his life. He doesn't have parents that are consistent. He doesn't have consistent rules or discipline. He doesn't know any different other than waking up in someone else's body. What he does know that is consistent is that he does wake up in bodies of his same age. So if he's 10 years old, he wakes up in the body of a 10-year-old. Same thing as he's getting into high school, he's 16, so he wakes up in bodies of 16, 17-year-olds. So I thought that was kind of an interesting take, and so I did like those aspects of the story. I also like that it was very age appropriate. This is a young adult, and it stayed very young adult. They are high school. It's the high schooler dealing with parents, dealing with friendships, dealing with relationships and love. There is minimal, I can't remember any bad language. If there is bad language, it is very minimal. And it's not vulgar in any way. There was no sex. There's no intimate scenes aside from kissing and hand holding, and there was no violence. So again, very appropriate for middle school and up. Even your 5th graders or so, who are more mature readers would be fine with this story as well. It's very easy to follow. That's my next like. It's very easy to follow. It's a very easy read. It's easy to read even though A is actually different people every day. So it's very clear who he is, what that personality of that person is like, without it being drawn out and too detailed. So it's an easy read. What I did not like about this book is that it's very repetitive. Obviously, he's waking up in a different body every day. The only thing that makes that different is that it's a different body every day. But it's still somebody every day. And it's like you almost just want him to be like, okay, please, can we just figure out what's going on here so that he can just be, And maybe somewhere down the line in these books, he does learn how he can just be and not have to change bodies every day and get those things that he's longing for, like his parents and discipline and going to the same school every day and friendships. But so nothing really happens every day. It's like he gets up, he checks his email, he finds out who's in his house and what his role in the family is. He goes to school if that's relevant. He meets or he does not meet up with Rhiannon on specific days when they try to meet up. And then just does it all over again the next day as a new person. So there's nothing really climatic about it. It's just kind of, But again, it is young adult, so maybe that's why I kind of felt like it was just meh. All right, so second thing I did not like. It was difficult for me to stay engaged. Again, young adult. But again, the storyline was unique. It just I wasn't intrigued by what was going to happen next or excited about what was going to happen next or excited to see how his relationship with Rhiannon panned out. I just didn't really, didn't love it. And then finally, I just felt like the characters weren't really all that memorable. Even Rhiannon was just kind of, could kind of take her or leave her. A was kind of the same way. They had good personalities, but there wasn't really anything that stood out To me, they were just your average teenagers. Of course, you know, she was very accepting of him regardless of what his appearance looked like. So, I mean, that makes her very genuine and authentic, I feel like, but, you know, nothing really spectacular. So there you have my 3 likes, my 3 dislikes. Again, it is Every Day by David Levithan. There are 2 other books, I believe, that follow this one. There is a motion picture that was based off of this book as well. As you can tell, this is the movie cover. I was going to try to watch the movie and then compare the movie with the book. However, the movie, it does not appear as though I have access to it on any streaming devices. I believe it might be available like Canada streaming or something like that. So I was unable to find it. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that compare and contrast of the movie. However, the trailer looks to be pretty good and again, appropriate for the age range. So let's talk about music recommendations really quick. Today on the Spotify playlist, we have Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake, You and I by Lady Gaga, and then All Out of Love by Air Supply. Oh, Air Supply. So I hope you'll check out those songs, add them to your playlist, decide if you love them or if you hate them, or give me a thumbs up and let me know that you like those or which ones are your favorites from Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, and Air Supply. Let me know down in the comments which ones are your favorites. Now I'm currently watching Rain. I think it's been a while. I can't remember if I was watching Rain the last time I did one of these videos or not, but I'm watching Rain. I am on the 4th season. I'm ready for it to wrap up. I do have to take breaks from it every now and then because it is kind of heavy, but I am enjoying it. And then, so yesterday I watched Fatherhood, which is a movie on Netflix. It stars Kevin Hart. Not a Kevin Hart fan. Not that I really have anything against him, just not a huge fan. But I went ahead and watched it, and I'll have to say I did really enjoy it. He did give me some emotions. I mean, he showed that he can do more than just comedic work. So he had me tearing up some, I do have to say. And then, of course, my husband and I finished Ozark. The 4th season of it is supposed to be released early 2022. There has been a trailer. What's the word I'm looking for? There has been a trailer released for Ozark and that new season, so that's exciting. And then I just discovered Clickbait yesterday. I saw the trailer for that yesterday, showed it to my husband last night. I think we're going to start that one. So let me know what you think of any of those shows or movies. I love to hear from you guys. Please feel free to share this video with other book folks in your life who may enjoy this content. And like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff so that other people get a hold of my channel and it improves my channel ratings and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys soon. I am Sincerely Cindy Settle. I am signing out. Mwah.